First, yesterday we were talking about my show Robotech and how there's three different forms of the airplane, right? And I did the recording on, and I put it on YouTube, and I got blocked from YouTube. Can you believe that? They blocked me because I, put some of their stuff. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. So I had to redo the lesson. Uh, anyway, so there's three forms, and quadratics have three forms, and we'll talk about two so far. This is what I wanted to show you. My son and daughter went on a world trip about 4 or 5 years ago, and my son finished his book. He's been writing a book for the last 5 years. So here is his book. It's called The White Lotus. This is my manuscript that he gave me to kind of go over, and it's really good. And I'm not even just saying that, but it's really good. It's about his and his daughter's travel, but more importantly, it's about him learning what it's like to be a brother that has been gone because he went to college for 4 years and he wasn't here to see his sister kind of grow up. Anyway, in his book, I'm going to borrow one of his quotes, and it says here. Let me see if I can highlight it better. Here we go. I highlighted discipline leads to experience, experience leads to understanding, and understanding leads to mastery. So, of course, we're not looking for mastery of math, but we're looking for understanding of math at least, okay? And the only way that I know that you can understand something is by you experiencing it. I can't really, I can lead you to it, but you actually have to do the discipline that it takes to have the experience of it. And experience is multiple, multiple days, multiple avenues, and eventually that experience will lead you to understanding of it. Okay, so anyway, I thought that was a pretty cool quote. So anyway, he finished the book, and he's gonna probably get it published within the next few months. It's really good. 500 pages. Finished it up. Anyway, actually, he has a website too. It's pretty cool. Here, I'll show you. It's called the White Lotus Scrolls, and here is their little video of. It's got like a little. So that's him right there. They're in. They went to the four elements of earth, water, fire. So they're learning Tai Chi from some masters, and they traveled to India for fire, kind of like the Avatar of the show. That's kind of what they're following along. So they did some yoga at some temples. Took a bunch of trains, airplanes. They went to China for Earth. They stayed at this Kung Fu temple and took lots of trains. And ended up in Japan for air. That's my daughter and my son right there with their backpacks. So they were gone for four months or so, maybe 3 months. Anyway, so really cool experience. So here's what we're going to do today. Anybody have any questions regarding that idea of discipline leading to mastery? So what we're going to do today is we're going to, as soon as my computer loads up, we're going to load up this student. And what I want you guys to do is go ahead and open up this link and leave the volume off on, obviously, because I'm going to be guiding you through it. And I'm going to be here to kind of check your understanding and I'm here to help you. So if you don't understand something, please ask. But this is going to be your assignment today. So go ahead and open that up and log in with Google. I'm going to open up mine, my teacher portal, and I'll give you guys a minute to load that up. And this is all we're going to do today. And but I want to do it together. Okay, so don't go too far ahead. Start with one. So I'm going to view my dashboard and see who's logging in right now. Okay, Hannah's in, Shiv's in. Okay, and go ahead and take a look, but don't start typing yet. Just take a peek at the at the what I set up for you. It took me about an hour to make this, so I hope you appreciate my thinking process, trying to help you. Claudia, you can actually use your notes for some of your work, but you're going to be doing your work here. And some students, what they're doing, they're kind of just cheating a little. They're just going to the video and then fast forwarding it to where I have a lot of stuff written down, and they just write down whatever is written. I think they're cheating themselves of learning. And this is gonna they're gonna have to stop a little in order to do this. So thank you for asking that question. And go ahead and unmute your volumes. I really would like to hear your guys' voices too as you're going through this. All right, so it looks like a lot of us are almost in, and I'll go ahead and take a peek at number one. All right, number one, it's pretty simple. I gave you the graph, and I want you to type in the x-intercepts, the vertex, and the y-intercept below. All right, so go ahead and type them in, and and make sure. I'll give you one. One of the x-intercepts is 1. I'm going to put it here, x-int. And on this side, I'll say what it is. One of them is going to be 1, 0. So can you guys find the other? Oops, what is this? Oh, never mind. I think you're going to have to just put the actual coordinate, okay? The other one's going to be 3, 0. And this is going to be the vertex. So just put V for vertex. And then go ahead and type that one. And then the y-intercept, I just put a yi. And then go ahead and put that coordinate. I'm going to take a look to see what you guys are doing, and I can help you. So make sure to unmute and jump in and ask me for clarification. This is your learning opportunity. It's not a test. I just want to see where you're at. Okay. Let's see. Summary, teacher. Here we go. You can see everybody's typing. Vertex, good. Y-intercept. Okay. All right. So I'm kind of curious what the y-intercept is. All right. I'm going to jump in on Steven. Is that okay with you? Steven, I don't think the y-intercept is good. I think you're right. That is 3, but I think you have to flip this around for the y-intercept. So go ahead and flip the 3, because it's actually 0, 3, right? Not 3, 0. This is the x-intercept. Okay. So go ahead and fix that one. And then very good, Van. Good. 1, 0, 3, 0. Perfect. Okay. All right. And sorry about that. I'll fix it later, Colin. You can't really type in words, so I just put Y, whatever. Cool. And Claudia, I see your work here. You typed in the x-intercepts. That's the y-intercept. Okay. Good job. And then the vertex, go ahead and type it somewhere. Like I said, I'll fix this later. Or you can just put a little arrow, say, here's the vertex right here. That works too. Okay, we'll go nice and slow here to make sure everybody. Hey, good morning, Elijah. Eli, go ahead and we went to the PACE and click on student right here on today's date, which is April 1st. and log in, and then we'll wait for you. April, where'd it go? Here we go. Okay, good, thank you. All right, so let's go to the second one, and and everybody go to the second one. And on this one, let me see how you guys can write. I think you can answer here. You can just write your answers here. It's not really a multiple choice. I just selected multiple choice because it lets me write in a nice math form. So what form is f in? Okay, so go ahead and type your answer. Remember, there's 3 forms, and so far you only know 2. So what form is it? And if you forgot, you can go ahead and ask anybody in the class, and then somebody will jump in and help you out. That somebody hopefully will be other students, and I'll jump in case nobody does. But if you answer, you can write here, f of x is in form blah blah, and g is in form blah blah, right? Let me take a peek to see where you guys are up to. Good. All right. F. Yeah, I think, hey Shiv, I think the F is, I don't think that's in factor mode. Factor mode is when you have 2 sets of parentheses. And F is only has 1 set, which are both the same. I mean, technically it has 2, but it's squared. So go ahead and fix that one, okay? All right.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So when it's asking like what form, like what do you mean by form?
Yeah, so there's remember my Robotech analogy. There's 3 forms that the airplane is in. The airplane is either in airplane mode, it's in robot mode, or it's in that half airplane, half leg mode, right? So in quadratics, there's 3 forms. There's one called vertex mode, because it gives you the vertex, and then the other one gives you the x-intercepts, and that one's called factored mode, form, not mode, form. Does that make sense, Amar?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So I'm asking for like what is the name of it? Is it in the airplane mode or is it in the robot mode? You know. So I want you to visually see it, right? You can see the function. You're like, oh yeah, I know this is going to give me the vertex just by looking at it, right? Just like you would if you were to see my robot. You're like, hey, that's an airplane. That's in my airplane mode. I can see that it's in airplane mode. So I want you to get to that level of understanding. Okay. All right, let me jump into somebody's. Okay, Sophia, good job. F is in vertex mode. That is correct. And G is in factored mode. Good job, Claudia. Right there, I see that too. F is in vertex. And you could tell it's in vertex because it has the parentheses squared plus something. And it might be plus nothing, right? It might be plus 0, or it might even not have anything there. And factored is when you have 2 sets of parentheses multiplying. Factored means you're breaking it apart. Okay. All right, so let's see. Colin's almost catching right there. Good job, Colin. Wait for you for that. All right, and then Eli. So this is actually f of x doesn't equal g of x here. They're not the same function. They're different. And the modes are, if you look at my screen, Eli, there we go. So F is a vertex mode because you can see the vertex. The vertex is definitely going to be, I forgot. Claudia, what is the vertex for F? Claudia, can you hear me? What is a vertex for f of x? Or anybody? Anybody jump in? Maybe her mic is off. Let me see if you guys could type in it. Nope. Okay.
It's positive 6, 2.
That is correct. That is the vertex. It's positive 6, comma 2. Because 6 will cancel out negative 6, so this would turn into 0, but 2 is still there. Okay, good job. Anybody know what the x-intercepts of G are? What are the x-intercepts of G? What are the x-intercepts of g of x? What numbers cancel out -6 and +2? All right. Okay, I'm sure some of you know this.
So
yeah, go
would
ahead.
it be so you said okay, so it'd be +6, -2.
That's correct. Those are the two x-intercepts because those two numbers would cause one of the parentheses to become 0, right? And what's 0 times who cares? 0, right? 0 times anything will be 0. So if the right side is 0 or the left side is 0, if one or the other is 0, the whole answer is 0, which is the x-intercept. Okay. All right, let's go to number 3. So go to screen 3. And on this one, let me see what the student looks like. So on number 3, I gave you a graph, and go ahead and sketch out F. Now, notice I gave you both, right? But I only want you to do F. And go ahead and start drawing it. What would be the very first easiest point to graph without having to do any math, with just pure understanding? What would be the easiest point to graph here?
Vertex.
The vertex. And go ahead and do it, and then I'll jump in and see how you guys are doing on that, right? So remember, this is kind of a check for your understanding, right? But we're also here to help each other, okay?
Would the vertex be the -4?
Let's see. The y of the vertex is -4, correct, Amar. And what would be the x of the vertex?
0?
Well, what number would cancel out -3?
Oh, 3.
3, yep. So the vertex would be 3, -4, okay?
Okay.
And that's where you start. And by the way, can you do the steps from right from there once you found the vertex? Okay. I'm going to jump on Nathan's here, just take a peek, and it looks like he's already got the, right? And Nathan, were you using the steps just kind of counting them? You didn't have to really draw them, you know? So you don't have to draw the steps, but you want to definitely, have those there, okay? Let's see. Let me look at, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask me. This is, like I said, this is here. I'm here to help. We're here to help each other as we're doing the experience of this, trying to lead to understanding. Okay, good job, Nathan, getting the axis of symmetry. And Nathan, just for fun, can you give me the equation for your orange axis of symmetry? You can write it on the bottom. What equation would draw a vertical line at 3? What equation? And there it is, x equals 3, okay? All right, and then Eli, go ahead and take a peek at my screen. I like you got the vertex as 3, -4. But what you want to do, and I'll do this in green, just go ahead and take a look. The actual steps are up 1 over 1, and then up 3 over 1, and then up 5 over 1, and then up 7 over 1. So your points would actually be here, 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 and here. So go ahead and try that out. Remember, with quadratics, it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 times whatever number's in front of the parentheses, which happens to be a 1 right now, so nothing changes. So go ahead and try that, because these points, you have the shape of the graph is good, you got the vertex, but the actual steps are need to be improved there. Okay. All right, and if you're done, go ahead and wait for everybody here as we're doing this, and do the if you guys take a peek at right here on my screen. I have Nathan's showing up. He did actually type in the equation of the vertical line, the axis symmetry, which is x equals 3, and that's always going to be the x of the vertex. So x equals 3 will draw a vertical line, and you want to make it dashed because it's not really part of the graph. It's more of a reference. I think when I first introduced this, I had a piece of paper and I folded it and I put it on my screen. Okay. All right, we'll wait a minute. Okay, we're being patient. We're not going to have a lot to do today, but waiting for everybody. And like I said, again, if you have anything that you don't understand, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay. All right, let me see Sophia's real quick.
Mr. Canales?
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused. So for the axis of symmetry, would it just be like whatever cancels out -3?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Which is basically the x of the vertex.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, because the vertex is always going to be on the axis of symmetry somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That point is always in the middle. So the vertex is the only point on a parabola that doesn't have a mirror pair. It doesn't have a like 0 would not have a opposite, right? There's no opposite of 0. 0 is its own thing. Okay. All right, very good. Okay. If I click overlay on my computer, I can see everybody's answers all on top of each other. So if you guys want to take a peek at what I see, I can see that my students are understanding. Okay. Now later on it gets more complicated, but it's still the same thing. It's just the numbers. Right now I just want to keep the numbers nice and simple, nice and even. All right. So I think we're almost done. Okay. And thank you everybody for waiting. Okay. Hey, good morning, Aiden. Aiden, so what do you want to do? Go to the pace. Aiden just joined. Thank you for doing that. Go to the pace and click on this Desmos activity right here. And then we're going to jump you and everybody to a different screen. And then later on, go back and finish the rest. Okay. So go ahead and go to the pace and click on this link called student. Okay. All right, so in order to get everybody on screen 4, I'm going to press pace. I see that all of you guys are already going to screen 4. But for now, I will go ahead and force everybody. And I'm sorry that you didn't get to finish 3 if you didn't, but it's okay. Okay. All right, 4 says sketch G now. Okay. So go ahead and sketch G of X. And recall that in the very, very beginning, when I first introduced to you guys what functions were, I said they're names, just like your brothers and sisters and yourself have a name. Okay. All right. For G, would you know the vertex or would you know the x-intercepts? What would you know? For G, do you know the vertex or do you know the x-intercepts? Very good. Okay.
I think you would know the x-intercept.
That's correct, right? Because that's in factored mode, right? That's my Robotech that's in robot mode. Well, he's on the ground, right? So he can only give you things on the ground. And so go ahead and get the x-intercepts. And then when you find the x-intercepts, find the middle, and then go ahead and do your vertical line, your axis of symmetry. And hopefully, it's going to give you it's going to be in a half. Sorry about that. Somewhere it's going to be kind of in the middle. And it got a little complicated because they're 5 away, therefore it's going to be at half. So go ahead and draw a vertical line at half. Okay, I'm kind of sneaking and watching somebody's. I don't know whose it is. Yep. And on your line, if it's not dash, it's okay. It's no big deal. Just make it a.
So would it be 3 -2?
It'd be 3 -2 exactly. And then what numbers smack in the middle of 3 and -2? So what you want to do when you have 2 numbers, you add them and you divide them in 2. So you're going to do 3 - 2 is 1, and then you divide that by 2. So the axis of symmetry 0.5. So, yep. So you're going to draw the axis of symmetry at 0.5. And then lastly, you're going to input 0.5 into the x's, subtract 3, add 2, and then multiply them together. You might need a calculator for this. So let's see, 0.5. So it's negative 3 plus 0.5 is negative 2.5. And $2 plus 50 cents, $2.50. So 250 times negative 250 is 6.25. So your vertex would be negative 6.25. And Nathan, is that how you got yours? You got to plug in, right?
Yeah.
Yep. You got to plug in. You got to plug in, subtract. Oh, and here's a little professional tip for you. Typically, both numbers will become the same number but opposite. Did you notice that, Nathan? That one of them was 2.5 and the other one was negative 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Typically they're going to become the same but opposite number. It's kind of weird. But it's quadratics, right? Quadratics are the same number times itself. Very good. Now, I actually, when I made this up, I didn't actually, design it to have a 0.5 as a vertex, but it's okay. It still works. Okay. All right. And good job, Van. All right. Very good. And by the way, once you have that vertex, then you could just use your slope pattern. Okay. And Nathan, what is that slope pattern for this equation?
Isn't this the normal one?
It's the normal one. Yep.
3.
It is the normal 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. And notice how it lands at all of your points land at 0.5s, right? Does that make sense? All of your, right? Because you're always going over 1, over 1, over 1. Okay. And the only one that lands at a perfect are the x-intercepts, are the ones that land perfectly at a whole number, right? Good job. Okay, we'll wait a little bit, okay? And like I said, if you are stuck at something, let me know. And then let me take a peek at Amar's. Amar's, I think your vertex might be off. And what you want to do, and let me get my writing tool so it doesn't write so bad. Go ahead and take a peek at mine, Amar. So you're basically going to replace x with 0.5. And this becomes 250. And this becomes negative 250. And then 250 times 250 is negative 6.25. So this is your vertex. So it should be a little bit lower. It should be down here. Like right there somewhere. Make sense?
Yeah, so we put the 0.5 in there because that's the axis of symmetry.
Yeah. That's an x, right? Because you basically you'll put in any x you want, and the one we want is the one at the axis of symmetry, which is 0.5. And I was telling Nathan that typically these two numbers are the same. Once you get one, then the other one's going to be opposite for some reason. Okay. All right. And then from there, from the very bottom, you're going to go up 1 over 1, up 3 over, do that same pattern, the 1, 3, 5, 7, right? But from the vertex, right? Okay. There we go. Good. All right. And okay. Very good. Very good. And then Sophia, if you could put little arrows on your parabola, and usually you want to make sure that the parabola looks like it's getting wider, right? Not like vertical like that. So parabolas are always getting wider, little by little, right? What do you guys think so far about this notes? Because basically, this is what you're going to be turning in. I can see what you've done. I can help you as you're doing it, right? You're not just there writing what I'm writing. You're actually participating. You're asking questions. I can give you feedback immediately, right? Good, cool. All right, and then one. All right, and then on this one, Amar, take a peek at mine real quick. That one actually has to go up 3. 1, 2, 3 over 1. So kind of be here. And the next one's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, never mind. It's good. It's good. It looked a little off, but it's fine. What you have there is perfectly fine. And then go ahead and connect them.
It's kind of hard to put it exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally saw that as I was doing it. And then just go ahead and sketch it out. You could use your finger. Like, I mean, I'm a little lucky. I have a little stylus that comes out of my Chromebook. And I zoom in. Yeah. And if you want to think of it that way, we're all kind of lucky because everybody has a Chromebook in our district, and many schools don't have Chromebooks. So I'm not sure how everybody's doing it. Okay. All right. And then Stephen, you definitely want to use the steps to make a better graph. Okay. So you want to actually, so take a peek at my screen. You actually want to, let me pick on Hayden's real quick. You actually want to use the steps, right? The up 1 over 1, the up 3 over 1, the up 5 over 1, okay? And then the up 7 over 1. Does that make sense, Stephen?
Yeah.
I mean, your graph is okay, but if you have that understanding of the 1, 3, 5, 7, then you're able to make it a nicer graph. And notice how we're not really using that much math. We're not really like plugging in and solving it very much. All we did was the vertex. That was pretty much the only one that we did. Okay. All right, so I'll give you a few more seconds, and then we'll move on to the next one. And later on, you can go back, and I'll stay online as you're going back to them. Okay, so if I move you, you can still come back to it. Okay, I can see that most people are ready. Okay, and that's okay. Okay, so when we're done, I'll allow everybody to go backwards. Okay, so let's go.
Can you notice?
Yeah.
It's not letting me go to the next one.
Yeah, I'm moving it right now. I'm moving all you guys. Yeah, we're gonna all move together. And the reason I'm doing this is so that in case somebody jumps in, like logs in, they automatically takes you to where I want it to go. Okay. Let's see. So everybody should be moving automatically to this one. And we're almost done. We got like 4 more to go. And so the next one is asking for, I forgot what I made this up. Like I made this up right before. All right. This is a factored one, but it's doubling. It's going to double the 1, 3, 5, 7 pattern.
It's not letting us add more stuff on the table.
Oh, dang it. I'm sorry. All right. So in this one, let's all do it together then. So what, Nathan, what is the x-intercepts?
-1 and 3.
All right, -1 and 3. And how far is -1 from 3?
4.
4. Cool. So I like it when they're even number apart from each other. And why do you think I like it when they're even number apart? Is the middle going to be at a nice number, or will it be a decimal? What do you guys think? Let me, I'm going to jump on somebody's here. All right. So if they're 4 apart, that means I can go 2 down, and that's going to be my axis of symmetry. And I'm going to use orange for my axis of symmetry. Okay. So when they're an even number apart, that means that you're going to have a nice axis of symmetry. And that axis of symmetry is going to be x equals 1. By the way, what are we going to do with that 1 to find the vertex? What are we going to do with that 1? What do you guys think? We're going to plug it in. We're going to plug it in and go ahead and write it down. Write the math in, well, if you can, right? We're going to plug in 1 into the equation. So it's going to be 2 times 2 minus 2. Remember I said these numbers are always the same? All right, so this answer is -8. That's going to be your vertex. -8 at 1. Oh, darn it. It doesn't actually even let us go down enough. Shoot. All right, let's pretend the what do you call it? These are by 2s, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Just pretend they're by 2s. So right here. Wait, can we get 8 here? 5, 6. No, we can't. Never mind. We can get 8. It's 5, 6. Is literally the last dot. Okay, and I'm going to put red. All right. So what's the steps from here, Stephen? Do you remember how many steps do I have to go? Up 1 over 1, or is it up 2 over 1?
Isn't it up 1 over 1?
Yeah. So it's 1, 3, 5. Except there's one problem with this one, Stephen. You see this extra 2 here in the very front of the equation? That's going to double the points. That's going to double our steps. So instead of 1, what is going to be our first step?
Oh, it's up 2 over 1.
Up 2 over 1. Yep. 2 over 1. And what's the next one? What's double of 3?
6 over 1.
Yep. And then look, we landed right on our x-intercept. And then we'll do one more just for fun. What's the next one? So we're done with the 1. We're done with the 3. What's the next one?
It'd be 10 over 1.
10 over 1 right there. And that should be enough for you to go ahead and plot that. So make sure you understand that the steps are 1, 3, 5, 7 times whatever number's out here, if there's 1 there. Okay. All right, and then you can just mirror the other side. There we go. All right. All right, let me take a peek at what you guys have. Good, okay. Good job, okay. All right. And Van, did you go down far enough, or did you just double the x's?
I didn't go down far enough. I realized that now.
Yeah. I was going to go down. I was going to change them, but it's okay, right? Just go ahead and do your vertex it's at the very, very bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once you got the vertex, man, it's so easy, right? Once that's why it's my favorite number, favorite first one, because once I got the vertex, then I can just go the 1, 3, 5. And that's why my teacher used to hate me, because I didn't really show any math work, right? And I'm like, well, I don't need to plug in anything. I know where the vertex is, and I know where the steps are. But anyway, I'm not that guy. Okay, so make sure to, as long as you understand that once all quadratics have that same pattern. Okay. All right, good job. All right, Marshall, go ahead and from your vertex, go up 2 over 1, 6 over 1, and then 10 over 1. And then go ahead and connect your parabola, your dots to make the parabola. Okay. Hey, Hayden, good job writing this stuff out. Right, that's kind of cool that you get to see that, right? And then also write axis of symmetry is x equals 1. Put x equals 1 is the axis. Okay. Okay, good job. Good job, Anna. I see that. You're fixing that. Okay. And then if I press overlay on my computer, I can see that everybody has the quadratic graphed out. Good. Okay. All right. I'm going to move you guys, even though you may not have it connected. That's okay. Okay. All right. We're going to go to the next screen. And here we go. The next screen is plot this graph with at least 7 points. So this one, I just pretty much want to see what you do. And you guys are already going for it. You're like, oh yeah, it's a factored form. Cool. Robot mode on the ground on the x-axis. Are the steps going to be going up or down? Look at that number or sign outside of the parentheses. How far apart is -5 from 3?
So would it be like 8?
Yes, they're 8. Therefore, the middle is half of 8. Where's half of 8? What is half of 8?
4.
So go 4 away from 5, and you're going to find the axis of symmetry.
Okay.
Which,
that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, which is exactly the same as the other axis of symmetry, by the way, right? I'm not very original with my axis of symmetry. Okay. And what are you going to do with that 1? Because x equals 1. And go ahead and do your work on the screen, because you're going to be plugging in 1. Okay. And don't forget that negative outside at the end. So what is that axis of symmetry? Okay. All right. I see Nathan's already got it. Okay. And Nathan, did you notice that how I made the graph really high in terms of like the 5, 10, 15? So I did that on purpose so that you can graph it, so that you can go really high up, right? And then do the steps from there, okay?
Would the vertex be 7?
If you plugged in 1 to the x's, right? So you're gonna do 1 plus 3 is 4, right?
Yeah.
I did the easy one, right? That's the easiest thing.
Wait, so why would it be 1?
What is the axis of symmetry?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right.
So,
okay. Yeah. So you plug in 1, and Nathan, did you notice that this number was also -4? Remember, I said these are usually the same.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's going to be -16, and it's going to be times that. It'll be +16. Okay. So keep that in mind, Nathan, as you're growing through this. You're like, oh, wait a minute. That's already 3 in a row that they have been that way. Okay. And this is when they're not the same. Check this out, Nathan. I know that you're done. We're waiting for others. This is when they're not the same. When you have an extra number out here. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
if they're simple, right? If they're just x plus and then x minus or whatever, they're going to be the same number. If you have an extra number out here messing with the input, that's going to kind of throw it off a little bit. Okay. Basically, it means this side will be half the size. But anyway, since I knew that, since I used to know that, I would only do one of the parentheses, because I was really lazy like that, right? Like, oh, if I already know they're going to be the same, then why am I going to do the other one, right? But then every once in a while, I'd get caught, right? Because there'd be an extra number in the front. All right, very good. We're almost done, guys. We only got 3 more to go. Okay. All right, Shiv, there we go. We'll wait a few seconds. And go ahead, if you're done, go ahead and look at my screen. I can show you how everybody's doing as we're supporting each other. Okay. Good job, Steven. You got the x-intercepts. You got your axis of symmetry. Amar got his vertex. Now he's doing the steps, right? 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. Good job. Colin, you got the x-intercepts. Very good. The next thing would be to find the middle point, which would be the axis. If you were to fold these in half, you'd have your axis of symmetry. Okay. And go ahead. You'll be taking your time. It's okay. All right. I'm going to pause you guys and move you to the next one. And then at the end, I'm going to allow you to go back to any single one that you need to. Okay. All right. The next one is, I think I had a multiple choice kind of questions. So you're able to select all of the ones that are true. Okay. And I try to get a little tricky, but it should be pretty simple. So go ahead and select all the ones that are true. Good. All right, good. Nobody's selecting that has one x-intercept because you obviously see that it has two of them. The y-intercept is 3, 0. All right, Colin, be careful. It's actually 0, 3 is the y-intercept. So you want to fix that one. The y-intercept is not 3, 0. It's 0, 3. It's like reverse. So thank you. All right. Let's see. I try to trick you on the vertex mode. I try to give you positive, positive. Nobody is picking that. That's very good. See that? I'm trying to see if you can fall for that. I should have put positive 2, negative 1. That might have tricked you a little more. Okay. All right, this one's in factored mode. Perfect. Okay. And nobody's falling for my trick of the last one of x plus 1, x plus 3. Good job. Okay. And if you didn't select the last two, or some of you haven't selected the last two are take a peek, because 10 of you selected 2 x-intercepts, but you got to pick that vertex form and also the correct factored form. So one of them is correct, one of them is wrong, and then one of the other ones is correct, and one of them is wrong. Okay. Good job. Good job. All right. Perfect. Amar, don't pick that vertex. It's not positive 2 plus 1. It's positive 2. It's actually minus 2 plus 1. Sorry, minus 2 minus 1. There we go. Yeah, I even threw myself off there. Cool. And also, if you didn't select the second to last one, that is actually correct. X minus 1 times x minus 3, because they're both the opposite sign. There we go. Perfect. All right. This one, we're almost at the end. Okay. And this one's just real simple. What are the x-intercepts, the vertex, and the y-intercept? And you go ahead and draw them. You don't have to draw the whole function. You can if you want. But all I'm asking for are the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, and the vertex. Go ahead and try that out. What's the easiest one to find? X-intercept, y-intercept, or vertex for this particular equation? What's the easiest one? If it's in robot mode, what is it going to find? The stuff out in the sky or the stuff on the ground? Let's see. Where am I?
It's not moving any of us forward because he didn't move us forward yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like, wait, why is everybody stuck on this? Thank you. My bad. Here we go. Thank you. Appreciate that, Nathan. All right. So all I want you to do is, what am I asking for? Oh yeah, to go ahead and draw it. Can you draw the points? So give me the points. And it looks like it's multiple choice. It's not. I needed a place to write the equation. So go ahead and plot the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, and the vertex.
We can't write on it.
You can't write on the graph?
No.
All right, let's see. If you can't, then we'll just kind of talk about it and then we'll skip it. Let me see. Oh, I see. I think I selected a graph, not the sketch. So my mistake. All right, what is the x-intercepts for this equation? Anybody?
-3, +5.
There we go. Is this the same as the one previous? Sounds like it is, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same. Okay, so we can skip this one. So we already did it. Okay. All right, let's go to the last one. And this is for you to write in English anything you understand. You should have a lot of things there. Okay. Be positive with your comments. Like don't write "I don't understand anything" because I wouldn't agree with that. Write what you do understand. You can say I know how to get the vertex form when it's in. I know how to write the vertex if it's in vertex form. I know how to find the x-intercept. I know how to find the axis of symmetry. I know how to graph. I know the step pattern, right? Go ahead and write as many things as you can, and then you can write for me what you don't know, so that I can see and I can help you a little bit. Which is the one that you still wrapping your mind around? Very good. Different vertex. Yep. Very good, Colin. If there's a number in front, then it's going to double that. Yep. Good. All right. Okay. Good job. Thank you, Amon. I like your list. I can kind of split it up, right? You know how to find the x-intercepts, understand the steps. Good. Very good. Very good. And Joshua, you just joined in. Welcome. I'm going to finish the recording in about 10 minutes. I'll put it on the pace. But basically, we're doing all the assignment here on this screen. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to give you guys extra credit for today. Some of your guys' grades are like 115% and stuff like that. So keep that up. That's very good. And what I want to know from you is what was good about this this type of exercise that we did here. I know we've been working really hard to get to here, but one by one, and I'll write your name down. I'll give you extra credit points. What did you like about this, and what worked for you?
Do you say it or do you write it?
I'd like you to say it so I can write it down on my list here. Yeah, what did you like?
Okay.
Yeah,
So I liked how when someone's confused, we can just ask you directly,
right.
And we'll get help right away.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay. Anybody else? What else? What worked for? This was very structured. Step by step. There was a couple of hiccups here and there, but we'll get better.
I like that it's hands-on and we all can work together.
Thank you. I like that. I'm writing these things down, okay? It is hands-on, right? It's not just you watching me write stuff down. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay. Anybody else?
I like that we actually had to draw it out.
Thank you, Claudia. I noticed that a lot of you have really good notes and you're really good at following along. And I see that your colors. I thought, oh, how can I give them a place for this, for the drawing it out, right? And it's little by little, right? Now, you guys could totally go in Desmos, type in the equation, and copy the graphs, but would that be really, like, are you learning anything, you know? Okay, thank you, Claudia.
I like how you try to make sure that everyone understands before you move on.
Thank you. You know, and this is one way I can kind of keep track of where you guys are at, and I don't want to like ever put anybody in any uncomfortable position. But it's okay if we don't understand. So if you ever like, hey, you don't want to show mine, then just let me know on the side. But I definitely want to help you, right? So Nathan, I want everybody to know that we're all in this together and we're learning together, right? And you can also see my screen where you can see everybody else's at the same time. You can have to jump back and forth, right, on your screens. Anybody else?
I like how you can give us like feedback while we're actually doing it.
Thank you. And who's this?
Hannah.
Oh, Hannah. Sorry. And that's my goal, right? I could easily give you guys Khan Academies and say, well, watch the tutorials, take the hints, figure it out yourself. But this is not the time for that, right? I'm your teacher. I want to help you. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, guys. So I'm going to stay here. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of unlock you guys from anything. And if you want to go back to any of these and make sure that you kind of finished it. Let me just figure out how to unpaste you guys. I think I paused you guys. There we go. So I'll stay here. And if you're done, go ahead and just say goodbye, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. You won't.
All right, thank you, Mr. Quinones.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good day.
You too. You don't have to post anything today. Okay, I'll put a note on the pace.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. And like I said, I'll stay here for any questions whatsoever.
Thank you, Mr. Quinones.
Thank you for being here. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Mr. Quinones.
Bye, Amar. Have a good day. Go outside and get some sun.
I will, yes, thank you. Bye.